I don't know why that one cut off then. No idea. Yes, I don't know why that live cut off then. It just cut off basically. It wasn't anything to do with the network. My phone switched off for some odd reason. Don't ask me why. So as you can see, I've had to restart another one. So we're back. Hopefully this one will keep going till 4 o'clock. A false start that last one. Don't forget, if you're new here, there's a subscribe button. Doesn't cost anything, but it makes it worthwhile, I think. You don't think this is one of the busiest railway lines in the country? Dead at the moment, but There will be something coming soon. That I can assure you. There is 3 trains in the vicinity at the moment. So all is good. That was a CAF Class 331 Northern Rail service to Blackpool North, honking away at the rail workers at the side of the track. That's one good side to having rail workers at the side of the track. You get quite a few honks off the trains, if you're into honks off trains, that is. And there goes a Transpennine Class 397, and that I think is going to Glasgow, and approaching is another 397 which will definitely be going to Manchester Airport. We've got a Northern Class 331 approaching. I'm not sure where it's going yet, but I'll let you know. And yes, that is going to Manchester Airport, that. Another Class 331. Seems to get 331 to death here. And the annoying thing is, when I was setting the camera up, a steam engine came through. It's typical, that, isn't it? A blue steam engine, so I'm pretty confident it were Blue Peter, because it were a locomotion services, which is usually Blue Peter, and it came through just as I was putting camera up. I was hopping. I never even spotted it on timetable, and it was there on the timetable. I just didn't spot it. So that was a bit of a poo-a-doo, but what can you do? What can you do? It's all quiet on the western front, but there is something due. I can't remember what's due. I keep looking at the timetable and forgetting. There's a freight train due. Oh, I thought there were. 4S44. That's going to be a class 66, and it's going to Courtbridge in Scotland. It's going to be coming down track 3, which is the third from the camera. And it's probably going to be a red DB cargo class 66. Yes, we had red DB cargo class 66. It's currently just at Walsall Lane. Oh, it's just approaching Exton Junction, which is about a mile away from me, so it'll be here in a couple of minutes. We've also got what looks like a Pendolino approaching on the 4th track from the camera, which is the down fast. And I'm pretty confident it's going to be a Pendolino, this, just looking at the head code and the diagram. Don't forget, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost nothing, but it makes it worthwhile. And double tap your screen if you're on a phone, as most people probably are. Just 2 taps on the screen. Again, that doesn't cost you anything, but it makes it worthwhile. I can confirm the freight train will be here in literally 5 seconds. Yeah, and that train originated from Hams Hall. I don't know where Hams Hall is, to be honest with you, but I can tell you it's going to Coatbridge in Scotland with the usual daily intermodal. It comes through today. It comes through here every day roughly at the same time, around 3 PM. I think the next freight we may see, if it's running, I don't know without looking at the timetable, is a quarry train. I'm just trying to find out what if the quarry train is running. Was running. Famous last words. Can't find it, I'm afraid. Let's just alter the look at the timetable. Oh, sorry, that was Daventry to Coatbridge, not Hams Hall. I thought it was Hams Hall. That's going to Coatbridge, which is near Glasgow. Yeah, it's quite close to Glasgow, is Coatbridge, not far away. And I think from there it gets split up and gets distributed hither and thither, shall we say. I'm just trying to find out if the no, it's not running, unfortunately. There will be another freight train in about 50 minutes, which will be the Seaforth to Moss End Euro Terminal. Seaforth is somewhere not too far away from Liverpool. Seaforth CT Euro terminal. It's an EWS terminal, and it's near Bootle somewhere, which is in Merseyside, and that'll be here. It's about an hour, less than an hour, about 4 o'clock, and that'll be probably the last train of today because it'll get too dark. But we'll see how we do. But it is cloudy and miserable here, so darkness will fall upon us pretty quick, unfortunately. When it's sunny, you do get a bit extra. There's no sun today. So that's the next freight train, but in between now and then we've got the usual collection of Pendolinos and Northern Rail 331s, 195s, 323s. And there we go. The next train to pass here should be, I haven't got a clue. All it takes is one train to go late, and the timetable gets all messed up. Got the usual northern services to Manchester Airport and Blackpool North. They're all within the next few minutes, and the Windermere train and the Barrow-in-Furness train. Just all the usual stuff up until 4 o'clock. And then we'll get the C4 to Moss End Euro terminal, which will be a class 66. It'll be a DB, not a DB cargo. Yeah, no, it wants to be. I think it's a DRS. I think that one. And it goes to the Moss End Euro terminal, which is about 20 minutes north of Motherwell. Motherwell's in Scotland. For people who don't know where Motherwell is, it's in Scotland. And the Moss End Euro terminal is exactly what it says. It must be a big freight terminal at Moss End. There we go. Bit of useless information for you folks. And it will be a class 66. Not much else I can tell you apart from it's raining. Starting to rain heavy, which didn't surprise me. It was forecast. Done well to get this far today without rain. It's certainly starting to come down now. The usual end, another miserable end to a miserable day. $175 people watching, so subscribe if you've not already done it. It is free, and double tap that screen. Tap tap. And enjoy the view of the empty railway tracks. Trust me, something will come in a minute. Like I said, the freight train will be a class 66, which is probably the main locomotive in this country. That line you can see to the right on the bridge, that's the one I was talking about this morning when that quarry train came through this morning, the class 60 with the empty trucks on the back. That's where it went, to the right up the branch line. If you look in the distance, you'll see the 4 main lines carry straight ahead, and then there's 2 branch lines that go to the right. That's called the East Lancashire line, and that goes through Bamber Bridge Pleasanton, Cherry Tree, Millhill to Blackburn, and then from Blackburn it can either go up, it can either go left and go up towards Clitheroe, Hellifield and the Settle and Carlisle line, or you can go right, which takes you Accrington, Burnley and Colne. And when you reach just before Burnley, there's a junction called Gano Junction, and you can hook a right there, and that takes you to Manchester Road Station, Burnley Manchester Road, and on to Hebden Bridge, Leeds, York, Bradford and all that lot. So it is quite a busy line for passenger service. There is talk of electrifying it, but they keep mentioning it, keep banding it about. In fact, there's lots of talk about them extending the line from Colne. At the moment it's a dead end at Colne, it terminates. It used to go to Skipton, and they keep going on about reopening it now. It's a great idea, but I just cannot see it ever happening because there's just too much stuff in way now. The track bed's still there for most of the route, but where it terminates at Colne, right there, I think there's a library, a shopping, one of these retail parks and other buildings, and there's a big road, definitely a big road, Vivari Way, and I just don't see how it's physically possible to extend it. But in the local papers they keep going on about it, saying it's going to happen, and they're lobbying this down in Parliament and all this business, and I realistically just cannot see it ever happening, just purely because I just don't see how it can happen, you know what I mean? It'd be great if it did happen, being able to get a train to Skipton and beyond. I mean, you can get a train to Skipton, but you obviously have to go from Burnley Manchester Road, Blackburn, and then get on the York train and then get off at Bradford, and you have to change at Bradford to get on a Skipton train, and then you can go up to you can get the Leeds to Carlisle train, which takes you over the Settle Carlisle line, so you can still do it, but not quite as direct. But I just cannot see them ever opening that line again. They keep talking about it, but I just don't see how they can possibly do it. I just don't see it being viable, but there you go. What do I know? Don't forget, double tap the screen. It doesn't cost nothing to double tap that screen. Just a quick tap, 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 and subscribe if you want. So we'll see what develops. You never know what's around the corner. I mean, it's not like they could do a tunnel or anything. I just don't know. I just can't see it happening myself. Really can't. And again, there's a line that goes up to Fleetwood as well. From Poulton on the way to Blackpool, there's a line that goes up there that's still, the track bed's still in place, and they keep going on about opening that up, and that's more viable. When I say viable, as in more believable, because there's nothing in way. It purely is just an overgrown track bed, so it's only a matter of plonking a set of rails down and you've got it. The level crossings are still there and everything, so that's believable. But then you've got to say to yourself, is there any need for it? You know what I mean? Is there a need for a train to go to Fleetwood? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. So it's just something that keeps getting bandied around, you know. Personally, I just don't see that you're going to get the passengers to go to Fleetwood. You get odd one or two, obviously. You're always going to get some, but is it enough to cover the cost of a railway service to make it worthwhile? You know, you've got to at least break even, haven't you, really? I mean, when I've been on the station and seen all these trains that go to Manchester Airport, and they go through Piccadilly and all that, and then go to Manchester Airport, and I look on them and they're half empty, and I'm thinking, you know, how the hell's that making money? And there's several an hour. It's not like there's one or two. There's probably 4 or 5 an hour in each direction, you know, and I'm just thinking, how is that making money? You know, a half empty train, unless at some part of the journey it becomes full. Maybe the Blackpool to Preston leg, it's a lot fuller, and perhaps the Bolton to the airport, Bolton to Manchester leg, it's a lot fuller. I don't know, but when I see it at the station here, it always looks like there's hardly anybody on it, you know. And speaking of the devil, there's the Blackpool North trains coming past now. And that's a Class 323, which were put in place here about 2 or 3 years ago to replace the 319, which were getting a bit old looking. And I don't know where that one's going. That's another 323. I think it was Liverpool Lime Street, that one. But I don't know where the 319s have gone to. You know, that service there, the Liverpool to Blackpool service, always used to be a Class 319. And now it's the 323, so I don't know what they've done with 319s now, whether they've just scrapped them, mothballed them or what, I don't know. So, yeah, I'm curious to know where the 319s have gone to, actually. It's very bizarre. That's a Class 195, and that's going to Barrow-in-Furness. Obviously, you can tell it's going to Barrow-in-Furness because there's no pantograph on the roof. And as the Lake District has no overhead electric, it always has to be a diesel that goes up there. Yeah, the 319s that we used to have here, we're instead of the 319s that used to run instead of the 323s, were a third rail as well, so they could be used on a third rail setup or a pantograph setup. So they could either do 25 kV overhead or 750 volts DC third rail. You know, but I don't actually know where they've gone. They were built in York at Holgate Works, but built in between 1987 and 1990. But I don't know where they are now. I don't know who the hell's got them now. I know one of them's been turned into some sort of a test train. Turned into like a test train, but you know. Yeah, one of them's been turned into a test train, but I don't know what's happened to the rest. Ah, yeah, what's happened to the 319s, I've just found out now. I'm researching it now as we're sat here, as I'm sat here. And they've been turned into class 719s, which is a mixture of bi-mode multiple units and tri-mode multiple units, which runs on hydrogen and electricity. Hydrogen and 25 kV overhead and 750 DC third rail. And it seems that they're being used, the old 319s are being used as guinea pigs. It's all a bit misty is the explanation as to what's happening to them now. I'm just reading up on it, but not a lot I can tell you really. It's all a bit yeah. Seems that they're quite still used. And that was the Windermere to Manchester Airport train. Seems that they're still quite well used down south, the 319s. Only ever 2 have been involved in an accident. Ooh. Apparently they've converted some and they're using them in a trial parcel service. I don't know. Who knows? But there we go. That's about as much as I can throw at you. Trying my best. But we don't have them here anymore. The old 323, which to me is just as damned ugly as the 319, but there you go. What do I know? I don't know where they came from, the 323s. They got fobbed off onto us off somebody else. Don't even know who made them. Built by Hunslet, the 323, which is these that you see going to Blackpool and what have you, built by Hunslet. Altogether, 43 units were built between 1992 and 1995. And it seems like the entire fleet is owned by... Oh no. I don't know. That was a Class 331 heading to Liverpool Lime Street. Just trying to find out if anybody else owns them. It seems that Northern seem to be the only people who own the 323 as far as I can tell. Built at Hunslet, which is at Leeds. Locally built. 3 cars per unit. Current owner. Oh, there's loads of people on them. What am I saying? Central Trains. See, some of these are actually what used to be called Northern. Central Trains isn't. First North Western, that's no longer exists. That were Northern. London Midland, that still exists. Northern Rail, obviously, here. Regional Railways doesn't exist. West Midlands Railway, I don't know if that exists or not. I'm sure West Midlands Railway is called London North Western now, but I might be wrong. And they're currently stored at Allerton in Liverpool. And they're currently running on the Crewe Manchester line, Glossop line, which I know about. And the Chat Moss line, I don't know where that is. Liverpool to Wigan line, I know where that is. And there we go. And they have a top speed of 90 miles per hour. Powered by 8 traction motors. 8 bogie hung traction motors. With a horsepower of 1,566 horsepower. And there we go. All exciting stuff. Everybody gone to sleep now in chat, bored to tears. All the viewers gone to sleep. There goes the good old Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino. Pendolino being its name because of the technology that's in it that enables it to lean on the corners, which was manufactured by Fiat of all people. Fiat designed and made the Pendolino system that sits on the bogies. And they are leased from a firm called Angel Trains. They use Fiat's Ferroviaria's tilting train Pendolino technology, and they're built by Alstom. They were introduced in 2002. And they were built at Washwood Heath in Birmingham and Savigliano in Italy. Well, that's the first time I've heard that anyway. And they have a capacity for 469 people. You know what I mean? There's a capacity of 469 people. I didn't realise they carried that many people. It used to be 589, but with first class refurbishment, the numbers were dropped. They're currently owned by a company called Angel Trains, who lease them out. Let's find out a bit about Angel Trains. Angel Trains is a British rolling stock company, together with Ethershalt, Rail Group and Porterbrook. I've heard of Porterbrook. Headquartered in London, products rolling stock leasing. Established in March 1994 as part of the privatisation of British Rail in November 1995, it was brought by Nomura Holdings, Babcock and Brown, and former in-city manager John Prideaux. Not sure on the pronunciation of that. Angel Trains had contracts with 19 of the 25 train operating companies in the UK, owning approximately 3,755 vehicles during December 1997. Angel Trains was sold on to the Royal Bank of Scotland, leading to criticism of the firm having been previously undervalued. Angel Trains acquired new rolling stock such as the Class 390 Pendolino, which were introduced by Virgin West Coast during the early 2000s, following another takeover of the business in 2008, at which point it reportedly held over 40% of railway rolling stock. And speak of the devil, there goes one of Angel's trains. Avanti West Coast Class 390. There we go. Yes, I know what you mean. Saying, come on, I'm saying I'm talking here. I'm talking. Never mind. Getting confused. For anybody wondering why it looks like there's lines in between the tracks on the track nearest to the camera, it's actually the overhead cable is that. It's just the camera angle gives you a bit of an artificial illusion as if there's something running down between the rails, but it's not. It's one of the ways is the supply way that runs to the left, and then one of them is actually the overhead way. It's just an optical illusion of where the camera angle is. In fact, no, they're both supply ways. They're actually running from pole to pole, you know. It's hard to imagine, you know, you could actually stand here and poke a pole through there. You know, you would touch the wire. It's only just at where I'm parked here, it's about 8 foot away is that wire with 25,000 volts in it. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. Wouldn't be very pleasant. I'll turn on my engine for a minute. It's getting rather cold. is raining, but only lightly. There goes another Class 390 on its way to Scotland. It's horrible this time of year when you can't, when it goes dark early. Summertime it's great, you can sit out till all hours. Now it's raining heavy. Probably see it on the camera. Very heavy. Very heavy indeed. There goes Class 397 Trans-Pennine Express on his way to Glasgow. Don't forget, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything, and it makes it all worthwhile. And double tap your screen if you want. Again, a little double tap doesn't do any harm, and it's all free. The only person it costs is me, sat here wasting petrol, but bringing the railway into your home. There goes another 323 on its way to either the airport or Liverpool, I don't know which. Hoping the freight train's on time, then at least we get a chance to see it. And it is. It will be here very soon on the third track from the camera. I can tell you it is a DB cargo, so it's going to be red, and it's 66097. It's going to Moss End Euro Terminal, which is in Scotland, not far from Motherwell. Here's the freight train. Here comes an ambulance, I think. Hand on the heart, hand on the knee, and pray to God it isn't me. And salute. And what sometimes happens at 7 minutes past 4, the network knocks me off. So we'll just have to see what happens. Don't know why it does it the last 2 days it hasn't done it, but normally, or did it do it yesterday? I can't remember. No, yesterday it didn't do it. I think it did it on Sunday, but I can't remember. No, it didn't do it on Sunday. I think it did it on, I can't remember. I just can't remember. Monday. Did it on Monday. We're on Wednesday now. It did it on Monday. As soon as you get into that 7th minute after 4 o'clock, the network, for some reason, I don't know if it's a glitch or what, I don't know what the hell causes it, but it just goes off at 7 minutes past 4. So if it does that, you'll understand where I've gone. If it keeps going, I'll keep going past 7 minutes past until, while we can actually still see things. If it knocks me off at 7 minutes past, it knocks me off. We'll just have to see what happens, but it's been doing it a lot. I don't know what it is. It's something on the network, because it's the exact same time every day. 16:07, 4:07 in the UK. It drops. Might be only for a few milliseconds, but it's enough to knock the stream off. So we'll just have to see if it does it. We'll just have to see how we do. Hopefully it won't knock it off, but if it does, there's nothing I can do. And it's, due to the fact that it's soon to be dark, it's not worth me restarting another one, you know what I mean? Because the light fails around 4:30, you can barely see your hand in front of you. But if it keeps going past 7 minutes, then I will keep going for 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes or so longer, as long as we can see, But I think it'll drop out, it usually does. In fact, I think I'm going to attend it anyway. I think my power's down to next to nothing. Yes, I think due to the fact that my power's gone, my power's going to be going soon anyway, I will knock it on the head. And I'd like to thank everybody for watching, anybody for double tapping, anybody for subscribing. It's much appreciated. But I think it is going to go off at 7 minutes past. But also I think My power's looking a bit poor. I've got the warning up yet, but yeah, so I'm gonna have to say goodbye to everybody, and I will catch you again tomorrow. And, thank you for watching.